Hello everyone, welcome back to FluentCast, the podcast where we explore fascinating topics while helping you improve your English. I'm your host Diego, and today we have a very special episode. We are talking about a historic moment for Brazilian cinema, the first ever Brazilian movie to win an Oscar for Best International Feature. I'm still here. But before we dive in, let me ask you something. Have you ever watched a movie that completely changed the way you see the world? Some films entertain us, some make us laugh, but a few have the power to make us think, to challenge us, to make us reflect on history and even our own lives. I'm Still Here is one of those movies, and today we're going to talk about why this film matters, not just for Brazil, but for the world. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to FluentCast on your favorite podcast platform. That way, you'll never miss an episode and you'll keep improving your English while learning about the world. All right, let's get started.
And the Oscar goes to I'm Still Here, Brazil.
Now, let's talk about I'm Still Here. This film is a major milestone. An important event in history. For years, Brazilian filmmakers have created incredible movies, but none had ever won the Oscar for Best International Feature until now. So, what makes I'm Still Here so special? If you have been listening to FluentCast, you might remember one of our episodes in Season 1 when I talked about this movie and how it deserved to get an Oscar. Why? This movie tells the powerful story of Eunice Paiva, a real person who lived through one of the darkest periods in Brazil's history, the military dictatorship. From 1964 to 1985, Brazil was controlled by a military government that arrested, tortured, and silenced people who spoke against it. Eunice's husband, a lawyer and activist, was one of the many who disappeared during this time. And when I say disappeared, I don't mean he got lost. He was taken away and never seen again because of political persecution. The movie follows her fight for justice, her pain, and her strength as she refuses to let her husband's memory be forgotten. This is not just a historical drama, meaning a serious movie about real-life events. It's a film that connects deeply with what's happening in the world today. We see how dangerous it is when authoritarian regimes, governments that demand total control and don't allow freedom, take over a country. And this isn't just about the past. We saw something similar happen in Brazil after Bolsonaro left office with an attempted coup, people refusing to accept democracy and trying to overthrow the government. And let's not forget the United States, where the attack on the Capitol in 2021 showed how fragile or easily broken democracy can be if people don't protect it. What's incredible is how I'm Still Here tells this story in a way that makes it personal. Instead of just giving us historical facts, the film shows how one woman suffered, fought, and refused to give up. And let's talk about Fernanda Torres, the lead actress. She gave an exceptional performance. She wasn't just good, she was amazing. She didn't just act. She became Eunice Paiva. You could feel her emotions, her fear, her determination. That's the power of great cinema. It makes us feel something. It makes us think. And did you know Fernanda Torres was also nominated for Best Actress at the Oscars? She was competing with Hollywood stars, including Demi Moore, and guess what? Neither of them won. This actually sparked a lot of debate. How could two such incredible performances be overlooked? Many critics even said it was one of the biggest snubs of the year. Fernanda Torres and Demi Moore were widely expected to be serious contenders for the Best Actress Oscar, but were not awarded, leading to debate and disappointment. Some even argue that the competition this year was so strong that splitting the vote between these two outstanding performances may have worked against them. It's one of those moments in Oscar history where people will always wonder what happened. Now, why is this movie so important today? Well, because history repeats itself. When we ignore the past, we risk making the same mistakes again. I'm Still Here is a reminder that democracy is precious. It's something valuable that we have to protect. It shows us how ordinary people, just like Eunice, can stand up against injustice, meaning unfair or cruel actions in politics or society. And honestly, this is not just a Brazilian story. Around the world, we see leaders trying to gain too much power, trying to silence their critics. This movie is a wake-up call. And if we look at what's happening in the world today, we see that the warning signs are still there. In the US, Trump's government has been openly attacking diversity. He's been attacking minority communities, and he's been even threatening longtime allies such as Canada and Denmark. Just like in the movie, when leaders start dividing people instead of uniting them, democracy starts to crack. History shows us that authoritarianism doesn't always arrive with tanks in the streets. Sometimes it sneaks in through small, dangerous changes in the law, in the media, in the way people are treated. And before you know it, you're looking around wondering how things got this bad. That's why movies like I'm Still Here matter. They help us remember, reflect, and hopefully act before it's too late. So my friends, here's my challenge for you. Watch I'm Still Here. Even though it's in Portuguese, take this opportunity to engage with the story and reflect on its themes. If you're learning English, you can read articles and reviews about the movie in English to expand your vocabulary and understanding. And if you want to talk about it, send me a message. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And before we go, if you're serious about improving your English, why not try a private lesson with Fluent English Academy? Our classes are live, not recorded, and completely personalized to your needs. Whether you want to improve your speaking, understand movies better, or prepare for an exam, we can help. Plus, you can join from anywhere in the world. So, if you're ready to take your English to the next level, reach out to us today. Alright, my friends, that's all for today. Don't forget to subscribe, share this episode with a friend, and keep learning. Until next time, take care and keep practicing your English. See you next week on our next FluentCast episode.